are good apart, but better together. They're about teamwork, make the dream work. D was this lonely guy who needed love. And he fell in love with this amazing woman who brought happiness to his life, of course. That's his story, and I'm sticking to it. DNT, they met. They had to stare off. It was pretty cool, to be honest. They grew this connection with each other that, had them like, if one was doing something, it's like I have to talk to that other one. We were partners before we were actually partners. And it was one of those deep connections that, it's just somebody you have to talk to every day, even if, you don't have anything to talk about. Talk to every day, even if, you don't have anything to talk about. You just have to create a conversation. So it grew, and their connection grew, and now they're in it for the long haul, and they're in it to win, and they believe that if they're in it to win, then of course there's other couples out there that's in it for the same reason. So their relationship is not just built on just DNT. Their relationship is built on seeing others grow in relationship and happiness, business-wise, whatever, and it doesn't come without obstacles, but they are teaching each other how to get through those obstacles and how to.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, my cup. What's up, everybody? Um, we are live, and I'm mad at that video my husband just put up because apparently I need some clothes because I have on the same shirt in that same freaking video. This is my favorite shirt, y'all. This is the only way I can get to be a hippie. So it's my favorite shirt. I don't care. Um, we are live, and I am excited and a little bit nervous about this one because this is up close, all up in the closeness. Not of me, because y'all know I'm transparent about my own self, but of my partner, my best friend, um, the man that I call my husband, my go-to, um, my my anger, my happiness, all that in one. We are having real talk with this man, D. Allen. And I am super excited about this. And I'm just going to give y'all a tidbit on how this came about. What had happened was we were, for some reason lately, we can talk to other people on the phone and we'll regroup with each other and talk more about whatever the conversation was. Not all the time, but most of the time. And lately, my husband has been. Um, it just seems like God has been putting men and couples and marriage and stuff in his path. And I've noticed that he communicates with them. I notice how he talks to them, and he uses himself as a huge example. And this is not me pumping air up in him because I'm just literally going by what I'm seeing him do. And I, I used to look and not say anything because I was like, I would always wonder if it made him comfortable or, he just talks so smoothly. But then I asked him today, um, how did it make him feel personally that he has, some men are coming up to him like, hey, you've been a little transparent about your situation with your wife. I see you guys talk about it sometimes. I need your advice. I need your help. And I've even heard men say, can you, mentor me in a way? Like, and I'm not saying that to boast or anything. I'm saying it to thank God for where we are today. But I asked him, I said, how does that make you feel? And the way that he was talking was in form of interview. And so he was basically talking about who he was then as opposed to who he is now. And I stopped and I was like, this is an interview right here. And I said, wouldn't it be dope if I could just interview you and you can basically just talk to people, talk to the men, especially that are in the shoes that you used to wear, and just the journey of getting better, and the journey of being with a wife um, who was angry and frustrated with you. This is about our marriage life. This is not about anybody else on the outside. This is about how we intake what was going on and how we, dealt with it. But I wanted to hear it from a male's point of view. I wanted to hear it from a man that was in the hot seat and how it felt to walk around, with things over your head and all this other stuff. So I literally just said, let's just do an interview. He said, yeah. And I said, when can we do it? And he said, I don't care. And I was like, okay, let's do it today. So that's when you guys see my little picture go up. That's one of my favorite pictures of my husband. And I'm super excited to introduce to you guys the man of a few minutes or maybe an hour, my husband, um, Mr. Didi Allen.
She just said, Mister. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, y'all? I am excited to be here and excited because we get to have a real conversation. And I'm looking forward to having it. Um, I was asked, are you nervous about it? And I'm never, uh, you know, that nervous, but yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. Um, but like I always say, I ain't never scared of a conversation. So let's have it. And those of you that's on, do us a favor before we dive into it. And she's asking me these questions, and I'm being real raw and relevant. Do us a favor, hit that like button, that share button, let everybody know we're live. Y'all haven't said nothing yet. Let us know that you're there. Hit a say, type something. Say hey, all that good stuff. Dion said he here for the tea. Taylor talking about she was wondering if she changed her hair. Let's be real and raw. Don't come with the bull. Respectfully, listen. I can't wait to have this conversation, and
Right.
so I would say we waited this late to have this conversation. It's 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 11
Hey,
Central,
J1.
and 12 midnight. So this is for grown folk. Day one here. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are talking back to us. That's
Hey,
what I'm
y'all.
talking about. Our church family is here, but we need y'all to do us this favor. Share
I'm sipping the
this
tea in this Dion.
now. Hit the share button. Don't be mean. Hit that share button because people need to hear this conversation, need to hear my responses. I believe that the reason why many people can't get over things because somebody just can't be transparent enough to do that. What's up, day two? Sherry's on. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, the whites is in the house. Do us a favor. Hit that
Hi.
share button. Say, hey, the Allens is on. They're having this raw conversation.
Real
Come
and
be a
raw,
part of
raw.
it. All right. You
One
say,
night only.
okay. Even
One
though
night
we
only.
know that this is gonna be talked about for a while. All right. But we don't have an issue having this conversation. I don't. And so I'm gonna turn this over into the hands of the interviewer herself. I appreciate her and I love her. And she's just dynamic with her um, wonderful glasses on. All right. I love it. In your hands, wife. Oh,
Thank
Jay is
you.
on too. I'm sorry.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dion,
Dion,
I'm
I'm
sipping
sipping
tea
tea
in
in
my
my
friend's
friend's
cup.
cup.
I
I
was
was
trying
trying
to
to
get
get
that
that
out.
out, but I was sipping.
And
And
yes,
yes,
Taylor,
Taylor,
thank
thank
you,
you,
niece.
niece.
Yes,
Yes,
same
same
shirt
shirt
but
but
different
different
hairstyle.
hairstyle.
That
That
made
made
me
me
feel
feel
a
a
little
little
better.
better.
So,
So,
How can we start this? So
My first thing what I wanted to say was,
so how are you holding up, Dee
You know, you could just say husband or something. I mean,
How are you holding up, honey?
you know, honestly, I am. I'm holding up and don't know how, but I am. You know, it's been quite a ride. Period.
Okay.
But I'm doing.
So people know us to speak on what took place in our marriage are basically dealing with the hurt part of it, meaning me. But let's talk about the other side. Let's talk about the target, not the arrow. You're the target. And apparently people like to shoot at you. So my first question I have to ask you is, so being in your shoes, trying to walk, how has that been for you?
I never had issue walking. The issue has been the type of walk. For years, um, I'm 30 years old.
You're 30.
Look at you. Look at you. Can't even say the
Because
actual
you have said
age.
36 so
For so
long.
long. I've been lying about my age for the same age for years now. But 38 years old, and I've had a whole lot of bumps. I had a whole lot of um, uh, trials and errors and mistakes, and so my walk has always been kind of a strange walk because no matter whatever walk that I'm on, no matter what's going on in my life, I kept on going. So the difference now, though, is that I'm at a point in my life to where um, I'm concerned with the way I'm walking. And a lot of people, you know, have been able to um, do the stuff they do in their life and keep walking, and nobody will even notice that they've changed their step. Unfortunately, as many of you guys know, I have a life to where everything, it's like I'm on the table and my guts is wide open and everything on the inside of me is exposed. And so I am on, um, I am on, I am on, how can I put it? I'm on an operating table. And I'll say this, that I've survived a lot of things to where others would have killed themselves. And there's a lot of people that wouldn't have been able to survive the level of exposure that I've been able to weather through, whether if it was rumor, true, false, or assumption. Um, I'm still standing. And um, hey,
hi, Pastor Alicia.
and one of the things that I can say is that this walk is different because I'm tired of the games. So I'll pause there. I'll just let you flow as you want.
Okay,
So
so
I
I
did
did
write
write
down,
down.
you guys. Normally
Normally
I
I
don't
don't
write,
write,
I
I
just
just
talk,
talk,
but
but
I
I want
want
to
to
make
make
sure
sure
that
that
I
I
ask
ask
appropriate
appropriate
questions.
questions. So
So
my
my
other
other
question
question
is
is
kind
kind
of
of
a
a
statement
statement
question.
question.
There
There
were
were
some
some
things
things
that
that
went
went
on
on
in
in
our
our
marriage
marriage
that
that
became
became
public.
public,
But
but
due
due
to
to
our,
our,
and
and
I
I
put
put
in
in
parentheses,
parentheses,
not
not
by
by
us,
us,
but
but
due
due
to
to
our
our
public
public
image,
image,
meaning
meaning
the
the
radio
radio
show,
show,
the
the
fact
fact
of
of
how
how
we
we
even
even
came
came
out
out
with them
them
being
being
in a
in a
relationship.
relationship.
And
And
we
we
did
did
put
put
our
our
relationship
relationship
on
on
the
the
radio
radio
show
show
before
before
actually
actually
being
being
in
in
a
a
relationship
relationship
ourselves.
ourselves.
So,
So,
you know, we
we
were
were
the
the
talk
talk
of
of
the
the
city,
city,
basically.
basically.
And
And
once
once
everything
everything
came
came
out,
out,
what
what
was
was
your
your
fears?
fears?
And
And
what
what
I'm
I'm
talking
talking
about,
about,
I'm
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
the
the
then
then
fears.
fears.
I'm
I'm
not
not
talking
talking
about
about
right
right
now
now
because
because
we,
we,
you know, like, but
but
the
the
then
then
fears.
fears.
What
What
were
were
your
your
fears?
fears?
Let me give the disclosure before I answer this. Minnie, so she's reading from a paper. only because she want to make sure she get out all of her questions. She has not prepped me on any of these
I
questions,
have
so
not.
I am I am
Yeah, let
bracing
me put
myself
this
as
out
it
there.
goes.
I'm sorry. Let me put this out there. This ain't no fake. We practice anything. So
So please
please don't
don't
put
put
that
that
in
in
nobody's
nobody's
head
head
or
or
ear.
ear.
My
My
doing
doing
this
this
was
was
impromptu
impromptu
thing.
thing.
And
And
when
when
he
he
agreed
agreed
to
to
it,
it,
it
it
shocked
shocked
me.
me.
Because
Because
anybody
anybody
that
that
knows
knows
my
my
husband,
husband,
my husband, he may be public, but he's also very, very private.
But I said this a few months ago. Where I'm at in my life spiritually, where I'm at in my life, period, is that the only way people could really um, be fully healed and change and stay changed and get over certain things, somebody's going to have to be bold enough to talk about their past and be honest and be real and be raw. Um, and I think it's never been a question how much I love my wife, if I love my wife, and how I love my wife. Um, I'm a product of someone that was in um, that entered into marriage before he was healed, entered into relationships before he was over a lot of different things, and um, I had people look at my wife and I and they say, "How did you guys go from you cheating on her, and her being hurt by it, and where you guys are now, and you guys are whole?" I told my wife, I said, "We made it this far. Somebody got to get something out of it, and I don't want us to be the couple to where we hold back and we don't explain how do we get from there to where we are now. How do we get, Didi? How did you restore the trust and the love back in your marriage?" Um, one of the things that I had that I realized I had to do is just stop lying to myself first, and fooling myself. And it wasn't a matter of going through programs or counseling and all that other good stuff. Somebody in the position that I was in, unfortunately, you can't always trust a person that you could talk to. And I had to get over self by myself. I had to find a closet and get in it, and stay in it until I figure out what the heck is going on with me. And when I realized that it was more than just me. It was more than just when you do something, it ain't just about you. It affects a lot of people that's connected to you. A lot of people saying, "Why are you guys just saying something now?" Um, what's the point of going in front and talking to people about something that you ain't over yet? And I don't agree with leaders talking about I'm leading while bleeding. That's crazy. That's contaminating blood. You putting your stuff on somebody else that they didn't even sign up for it. And I wish that my level of transparency that we're going to be tonight, that somebody in that that I experienced this when I was younger, and we have a church members, and I want to tell you that our ministry is based off of experiencing. I say this all the time: experience is not what happened to you, but experience is what you do with what happened to you. So my season, my life right now, I'm an open book, not for talk, but I'm an open book for healing for those that's going through the same thing that I went through. I have a past while other people have a present. Um, Everybody can't say they have a past because they're still doing the same stuff. They still doing the same things. So they don't have a past. They have a present. They have a current struggle. And so it's the stuff from my past, the stuff that I've conquered, that I'm using it, and I'm going to use it for God's glory. So uh, I am a walking live um, testimony of what I struggled with, what I've overcame, how hard it was. And let me say this: that my issues started back when I was a kid.
You're all up in my questions.
Well, go ahead and ask them.
And first, you got to answer the question. What
What's the
was your
question?
fear back then? Once everything was exposed, what was your fear as a husband and a father?
My only fear then was I have a bunch of daughters that I just showed the wrong thing to. Will I be able to show them the right way? Will I be able to show them how a man can recover and recover his family and love and show them that, hey, even if things don't go right, don't give up quick. So my fear was the long term damage. My fear was the example that I've always been for my daughters, and then them being old enough to see their father fail. My fear is more of how did it affect our kids. Yep. And then the other fear was how the heck I'm about to get her back. Uh, People knew. Do y'all know the hoops I had to jump through to get this girl? And it's crazy. You do, we men, we do all kind of things to get somebody, to win them over, but be so quick to do something to damage what you work so hard for. But the thing of it was that I wasn't afraid of my action because my environment was that. Um, what I surrounded myself around, that was the norm. So it didn't become a fear until I realized that's not me anymore. And a lot of times you don't realize you're over that until it get thrown at you. And so, go ahead.
Okay, so my other question is, though we smiled in everyone's face and we played the role of being happy, what was it really like for you in our marriage and at home during that the going through process?
It's funny because I'll start with this. Depression is real, y'all, and unfortunately, depression don't have a face. Um, we'll be before people, smiling, doing our job, and leave from church or leave from whatever we're doing, and go home into depression, and people wouldn't even know. Um, it's like it's like you're stuck in a maze that you can't find your way out of, and I don't know. It was hard because no matter what, I couldn't be like other people. I couldn't. We couldn't just disappear. We couldn't just call it quits. We couldn't just do what a lot of other people do. Oh, it didn't work. All right, we out. You know. Um, and so, what was your question?
It was it was what was the marriage like without behind closed doors?
Oh,
What was the real raw marriage like behind closed doors and
it was
at
real.
home?
It was at home. It was real and confusing because, and what I mean by the confusing part is because um, at home we had to deal with our stuff, and at the same time try to protect our household from not being affected by what we put ourselves in. And so it was like a chess game. It was like we were some firefighters. It was finding a place to deal with each other. But then we went through a season to where it became fake, and fake meaning we did so well showing the people we're great, and then it merged. I think it just blended into our actual relationship to where now we started being fake with each other. We stopped communicating. We stopped talking. It's one thing, y'all, to have a relationship and be with someone going through something, and you're talking your way through it, you're working your way through it. But when communication stopped, that was the redefining moment when we stopped communicating. I'm not talking about we were still talking, having conversation, but meaning that we expressing ourselves stopped. And I think that's when the real challenge hit.
Oh, I was reading my next question.
If y'all listen, if y'all got questions while I'm talking,
Yeah,
we're reading
anyone have
y'all comments.
questions,
So we're
like
reading them.
serious questions, we nothing is certain things are off limits. We'll tell you that's off limits.
And we
But
just won't read it. Go ahead,
I
Kika.
will ignore you.
What's your comment?
Um, my next question. As a man, as a husband, as a father, what was your next move to fix the situation with your as a man, husband, and father?
Here's the thing. I've attempted. Let's be honest. I'm gonna be real honest. I've attempted to um, fix the situation many times, but it's nothing like putting. Um, it's nothing like putting some water on a cut and expecting that cut to close up when you need to put some stitches on it, put a band-aid on it. And I never fixed myself. I never got myself together. And so every time when I attempted to fix it, I fixed it just for the sake of I don't want to lose you. I fixed it for the sake of people talking. I fixed it for the sake of let's throw people off. But was it really fixed? No, it was handled. And and I think that um, the hardest thing in this in that season in our marriage was moving from handling you and handling people to where I'm more like, okay, I need to get myself together and stop trying to sweep everything under the rug to where it won't look bad. Here's I think one of the main problem was that when you're so concerned with the church, and you're so concerned with how it looks and how it's supposed to be, and how we're supposed to look, and how we're supposed to be before the people, you never have room to really actually be honest. I remember a preacher said, "Man, bro, I don't even like my wife, but I gotta stay with her because I don't want to lose my church."
Wow.
And I think the reason that we're going through this, that our community is going through this because nobody don't want to be real about. We hear about people who've been married for 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, 15 years. Everybody want to talk about the good, but don't nobody want everyone to talk about the bad, as if marriages don't go through humps. And the only thing we hear about is how long you've been together. No, I'm married. I'm young. I want to know about how do you recover when you do mess up? How did y'all get to where you are now? And so that's why I said earlier that it's our goal that we give that, because that's what was missing for us, for me, for Kika, for us individually. We didn't have that in our upbringing and trying to be better and trying to handle relationship. And so we went into marriage taking the same practices that we did in our relationships. And when our marriage hit that bump, we didn't know how to handle it because we didn't never practice that. And so I'm at a point in my life to where if what I've done can't be talked about, if my mistakes can't be used as a tool to help somebody grow and learn from it, then I went through it for no reason. I drug you through it for no reason. Kika, you staying in this in the marriage and going from the place of hurt to the place of I'm gonna do it again, and now to the place of I'm loving, and you never share that experience with the woman that's struggling in her relationship slash marriage, and everything that you went through was for no reason. So that's why I said that my goal, my whole thing and outlook on stuff now is that I didn't go through all these experiences just to stay quiet. And I'm not afraid or concerned with how people think or feel, because I'm doing what they cannot do, which is talk about it for healing. And there's people that will say, "Yeah, Bishop, you're doing too much. Take my title." Well, you can't take my testimony.
All right.
And that's the
We
problem.
we
Too many
have a
people
question.
been walking around and stop talking about their testimony. Go ahead. Question.
We have a question. It's from one of our own daughters. Maya Allen asks, how do you guys stay positive when you guys have so many eyes watching and so many mouths talking? That's
That's
a good question.
wow.
That's a good question.
Go ahead.
Um, I'm being honest, it took a lot for me to stay positive because even to be honest with you, Maya, to be honest, I was putting out positive energy, but on the inside, I was so angry, so pissed, so bitter. I literally had to communicate with my husband more. And once my positive started really being positive, it kind of made me feel a little better. Um, just doing it in the eyes of people that are judging and didn't even know really what was going on. They will put, I think your dad was more positive than I was. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because when I caught the Cubs, when I caught the subs and stuff and the eyes and stuff, I went on attack mode. So it took him overpowering my negativity for us to even look positive. I'm just going to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm not going to even lie about it because I was the one that would catch the people saying stuff, be told what people were saying. So I didn't have that real positive vibe. I had, I'm going to feed off of kids and smile for y'all and be cool. And with the people watching us, I mean, our every move. I didn't realize that people was watching everything that we were doing.
Everything.
I didn't know that. And it scared me and it hurt me because no one was, let me not say that. We had a certain amount of people that was with us and has been rolling with us to this day. But then we had a huge amount of people that was just around us to watch and talk about, and it emotionally messed me up. So when he would be positive or we would go live and he was fine, I would just feed off of that. So you, honey, can probably answer that better than I can because Takika just started being positive.
I for me, I think that this question is how did you guys stay positive when you guys had so many eyes watching? For me, it's making me better was more important than worrying about people think. And if I ever, oh my bad. Can you hear me? Um,
Oh,
for me, making I'll repeat myself. I wasn't concerned about who was looking. I was more concerned about can I get myself right, and I don't think that um, I ever got caught up with who's looking. And even now, with ministry, with a church, I told my leadership team, you guys handle whatever. I want to stay in the spiritual side. Can you hear me now? Some people saying they can't hear
they're
me.
saying, yeah, I think they're it's delayed here.
Okay. Um, I um, I'm literally more focused on being in the place of God and being doing my job and my assignment and not worry about nothing else. Um, if you live your life worrying about who's looking and what they have to say, you will never get to the place you need to be because you're being drugged down, because your ears getting heavier and heavier because you listen to every doggone thing. I think naturally I have the ability to ignore what's being said and focus on what I'm doing. I mean, I do that with the kids. Like I have a household full of kids. They just talking and talking and talking. I'm gonna continue focus on what I'm doing. I ain't bothered by the noise. Key
You
can
do
tell
that
you.
to me too, as well.
Well, you know, it's
Yeah.
a talent. It's a gift. But no, seriously, uh, being able to get to where we are was not based on who was looking and what people had to say. And that's the reason why we could do what we're doing even now. People looking at us, looking at me, Bishop, I heard this, I know that, I blah blah blah. Um, but guess what? It doesn't matter because, and I say this, I was talking to somebody earlier, and I told the person it's funny. my biggest struggle was simply this. I expected for the community to restore me, and it never happened. The fellow pastors and preachers. Now, let me say this. I have a circle that did. I have a whole fellowship that listen. I'm not saying that, and a lot of it don't apply to right now. I'm talking about back then when it was a mental battle. I said I shouldn't even continue doing it, and I had to get over that because again, Sunday I had preached and told the people at the end. I told the church. I told the church this. I said, "You do not need closure for you to move on." And I didn't need this for me to keep on trying to do right. The reason why I am where I am right now because I decided to keep practicing doing right. And I said I'm using the word practice because for so long I practiced doing whatever I wanted to do, and that became my normal behavior. You can't change if you're not going to change your habit. So I had to work on my habits, and I had to change my habits. That's how I got to the place that I am now.
So what was it like? And I asking you to address this because there are men out there that have gone through. Why did I just look at you instead of look at the? There are men out there that have gone through what you've gone through, and they're not here to share their experience. But on your end, what was it like to deal with a wife who became bitter on you? Why didn't you, in most cases, even though people always ask me, why didn't I walk away? Why didn't you walk away? Because I'm me and I can tell the world, you guys, I was bitter. So why did you stay? Because I took it out on you like in every way possible that I could. So why did you stay?
If I'm man enough to do it, I'm man enough to fix it. That's my whole thing. And punks
You just
run.
turned me on a little bit.
Hey, that's again, that's the norm. That's my behavior. That's my habit for you. No, but I don't, I don't run from a battle, and I sure can't run from something I started. Um, you know, my habit was if it didn't work, whether if I did it or somebody else did it, I'm out. Deuces. I said something to Kika a while back, and I said to her, oh no, a few months ago. She was so frustrated with me because I forgot what it was. I said, "You mad because you have to fix it, and you're not used to sticking around, working past the issue, and seeing the outcome of it working. You have a history of whatever happens. If the relationship works, it do. If it don't, it don't." Um, I think that um, I think that because I wanted to see the other end of it, and a lot of people don't stick through it because they're tired of what's currently going on, and you never have the endurance to get to the other end. And everything in my life, I never got to the other end. I was ready to jump boat and try something new. And in this case, I wanted to get to the other end, which is, okay, we're in a storm, but let me go ahead and get to the other side. If I could just make it past your anger, if I could just make it past you being bitter, if I could just make it past you doing all this, and all I need is one opportunity to where you could finally see who you've been waiting on. That was my goal. Uh, you know, I for so long I lived a life of reacting, and I never had the opportunity to outgrow what happened to me.
Mhm.
I never had the opportunity to be better than what was inflicted on me. And I've probably never shared this. Uh, Oh, somebody say exclusive. But I was 13, 14 years old. My father knew how much I loved and wanted to be a musician. He knew how much I loved watching people play the keys and organ. And I've always told my dad, I want to be an organ player. I want to be a musician. That's why now when I'm preaching stuff, you hear me call out keys. I'm a bootleg one. And my dad surprised me. Best gift I think he'd ever given me at the time. And and he told me, he said, "Hey, I got something for you." I said, "All right, Dad." And he said, "I got somebody that's going to show you how to play the keyboard." And I was excited. I was happy. And he introduced me to my music teacher, and we started having practice at the church. And it was my first practice at the church, and I was excited. And I had uh, it was 7-ish. I don't know. It was nighttime, whatever. And my first practice of rehearsal, that musician, that male musician that plays at everybody's church, raped me in the church. Never told my dad. And and I um, I never told him. And I got away from him and ran all the way home. And for years, I was questioning, why is it that I was the one that was chosen? Why would a man even think that? How did I get picked? And so I lived my life. I don't know what happened to you. Let me see your phone. I had lived my life for years, proving that, one, I'm better than what happened to me. I'm not gay. And so I decided to find, that was the initial, probably when I had first decided to, I got introduced in the club of being a hoe. And at a young age, I started having sex. And I wanted to prove that I like women and not men. Mind you, I never struggled with it. Never questioned myself, but I needed to tell myself I'm better than what happened to me. And I don't even know why I'm sharing this now. I've never shared this before. I know my kids are watching this stuff. But I realized that Sunday, I told the church that if you don't, now let me say this, I meant when I said that this ministry, this church is based on experience and me ministering from my experience. What happened to me, when I never went back to play again, I never wanted to play an instrument again. I just directed the choir. And but I was like, that's not me. And so anyways, I told a church that you have to learn how to replace that void with God. You can't leave a void in your life, because that void will become a mirror image of what happened to you. And what happened was I did not replace that void. And when you have a void in your life, somebody takes something from you, you have a void in your life, and you don't replace it. You will become what happened to you. And so my goal was, I'm going to have sex. I'm going to have sex because I'm not gay and I don't know why a man tried it on me. I was 14 years old. And, anyways, I had to get over that. And I went into my adulthood. The same character. Proven, 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 proven. And, make a long story short, y'all, I know this is longer than what I was supposed to be. I got over it. One day I'm going to put the keys in Oregon. But who I was a reaction from what happened to me, and I'm at a state in my life to where I'm tired of reacting and being me. Sorry, I hope I didn't.
That was
But I'm gonna erase this whole interview after this. I'm playing. Go ahead.
that was hold your breath in, like, oh my God, because I know you shared that with me. We've talked about it together.
So everybody, what happened to me? That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm literally in
My
shock.
siblings didn't even know what happened to me. And let me say the reason why I didn't tell my dad was because I didn't want my dad to feel bad that he brought my raper. Okay, go ahead.
What's crazy is people don't get that you and I are connected on so many different levels. You would think that my husband literally puts himself in my life before I actually met him, to the point where I questioned, did I actually know him back then? And for you to even stand up and even do and sit here and even say that much. There are a lot of men who will not open up about even being molested or raped because it does something to them privately. Let's just be honest. I have a son right now in jail because mentally he was gang raped when we lived in Watts, and he didn't know how to handle that. And he wouldn't talk about it. And he did the same thing. I'm gonna sleep around just to prove I'm not gay. And he got involved in drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. And we thank God he's still alive, but he is, you know, we're dealing with that. And it took you to even see that in him, to even talk to him about it. Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know until he talked to my husband, and then my husband brought it to me. And I, excuse me for saying it, but I damn near fell apart because I'm a mom. How did I miss that? And I don't want to hit on that anymore.
We got
Let's
some
go to
questions to share.
questions. Yeah, some stuff you guys we just don't. Oh shoot! Wait.
Uh, Day one, Marcus Fletcher said, "I missed the entire situation, but coming from being through the same, our renewal was our statement that we are unbreakable. Yes, sir. And today we are at our best. So just one thing to say, love you,
Love you,
man."
day one.
Maya said, "At what point did you guys truly feel like you guys were getting better as a couple?" I want to start off with that one. Let me say this. Um, here's the truth is that we messed up when we stopped being a couple. See, marriage don't change who you are; it just change your title. And when me and Kika stopped being, we couple very very well. See, we, I told Kika when we got married, "What you doing? Who you trying to be? Like, I need Kika girl." Yeah. And so we got better when we start back being a couple and not a title. We got better and we continue to get better. I don't care. Listen, we feel like we've been together for 20 something years.
Man,
Uh, you know, and the one thing we have under our belt is this: we have experience of good, of uh, weathering through storms. We could talk about it. We could. It's nothing like going to somebody saying, "Hey, I'm having issues with my marriage. Can you tell me what I should do?" And they counsel you, but they've never been experienced in the situation that you're going through. And so the glory out of our thing that we went through is that God is allowing what we went through to become a tool to help people, real people. Don't come to us because we don't come to us and you want to be. If we're going to tell you about us, we want to know about you. So don't come saying you got a headache when you really got a migraine. So we got better when we focus on us. Kiki, you want to add something?
Yeah, it looked like the video on Facebook was
No, it's still going.
okay.
Ebony have a
Um,
question. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna read Ebony question. How is it blending your family spiritually?
Ooh,
I
that's a show by itself.
yeah, let me tell you something. Um, I'm literally, how can I say it? I love this blend. And the funny thing about our kids is they're all, I call them all wildflowers because they all have their own independent mind. They're all goofy, they're all this. But spiritually, it's something about our children, it's something about us. There's a connection. And I love every minute of it. Like they feed off each other. And when I watch them in church, we had just sent them a text message this week, Monday.
Hmm.
And we were just telling them they have no idea how much we enjoy having them in our presence, how much we feel them, to see our daughters praise God, to see our daughters knowing that they pray, knowing that there's an anointing and a covering over our children's life, to know that our son just confessed to us that God called him and that's where he wanted to be at. Um, it's been an entire blessing. Spiritually, it's a connection that I don't even know how to explain, but I love. Our kids are, like I said, to me, they're my wildflowers. And I say that because I'm a hippie, but they're my wildflowers. And they grow out and they grow beautifully. And they have this connection. Like when they first met, let me put this out there. I met my husband's children before they all actually met my children. And once our kids got together in December, when we did the we did the tape, the tearaway game for Christmas, when we seen them interact, it's just been like this since. They cry with each other. They talk about us behind our backs with each other. They're just connected, even when they're apart. They talk to each other more than we know that they talk to each other. So, and they're just the perfect blend of chocolate. So I don't know. Spiritually, it's just the in tune that I love. It's nothing out of tune spiritually when it comes to us and our children.
Yeah, and I think that the reason why it was good, the blend was.
Maya said we awesome.
Love you, Maya.
Yes, you are Maya Paya.
The reason why the blending was easy to do because the both of us naturally had a desire to be the same type of parent, um, and meaning her kids, you would think they're mine, you would think they're hers. And then the bad enough, they all look alike,
They
uh,
do.
and and so for us, it wasn't blending. It was a matter of okay. It's nothing like marrying somebody that don't like your kids. Let's be honest. That's just an issue with blending all by itself. You get with somebody and you like them, but the kids you don't like. Um, I'm grateful that that's not what we're enduring. Okay,
I
so
don't even know how me, Lexi, Faith, and Maya even connected. I think Faith came and hugged me one time, and that was it. And they've been my girls since then.
yeah,
And
so
Faith tells me it was before, way before you.
yeah, so the blending was easy
Yeah.
because we just all naturally matched.
So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
So me bringing in two sons that were already almost. Kevin is, wait, how old is Kevin?
20.
Okay, Kevin is almost 21 and Kylan is 18. And having young men who in Taylor say
Taylor just said yes, yes. Taylor,
yes,
Taylor is
Taylor.
part of our.
Taylor's
We have 11 kids.
Taylor is our child. Um, she's just a little lighter, but she's there. So to come into this family knowing that I had two sons that in my Watts life, my single life, I always told them, y'all supposed to be the men of the house because there's no man here yet. And knowing that my sons had that
It was a yeah for me.
huh?
Go ahead.
Knowing that my sons had that overprotectiveness of protectiveness of their mom and that bond between you, Kevin and Kylan. It wasn't an easy bond to connect. And let's just say within a couple of years, you guys have had your ups and downs due to certain situations and everything. How is it as a father having sons, you being a role model for them?
Um, I I I made up in my mind that I'm not gonna be a friend, and I'm gonna be a father. And there's times where I had to hold a line, and many times they didn't appreciate it. No, they didn't like it, but afterwards they appreciate it. And what I mean by that, once when they learn that um, once when they learn that I'm not here to hurt, the line that I'm holding is to build, is to help, is you know, I think it's um, because I took the time out to make sure that we could build trust. They could build trust in me, and me being more than just that dude that's married to my mom, or my mom's dude, or uh, I I never had an issue with being a parent. I've had I've had an issue with being um, the same thing to all. And what I mean by that, my integrity was great behind the scenes. But for certain circles, though, they knew what it really was. And when when you have a life of experiences, um, and you have young men that you could apply it to, why not? I don't have those no. My dad used to always tease me. He said, "Well, we know one thing. He's not gonna bring is his son because he have nothing but girls." And so when the boys came, I was excited. But even to this day, I will be more of a father than a friend. And as long as they know that there's trust there, they could trust my anger, they could trust my discipline, they could trust my decisions. It made it better. And so, and the other thing is, I'm being me, so I don't replace nobody daddy. They have a birth father, and that has nothing to do. Fix your face. That has nothing to do with me. And so, uh, just being consistent and not being wishy washy, not being this way here, that way there. Just being consistent. So that's what I done and made it easier.
So here's a question, husband wife question. And I saw this question on a marriage post, and I've always wanted to ask this. So, for a husband who made his wife feel secure,
Yeah.
and then she worked through the insecurities because of whatever happened, is it that husband's job? Because the secure is the wife felt secure with her husband.
Yeah.
The wife felt secure about her husband walking out the door. The wife felt secure about her husband going to work. The wife felt secure about phone calls. This is what I took her question as. And when the insecurity because situations took place comes in, now she's not secure in any of those areas. How does a husband who stayed in a marriage and a wife who stayed in a marriage, how does that husband and wife develop that security back within that wife? Because this is the wife being secure with her husband, not with herself, but with her husband.
Um, I think that I can just speak on what I've done, which is go back to being a secured husband. And if I knew what it took to secure you the first time, I shouldn't have to worry about that the second time. It was a matter of making sure that you could recognize the security. And when it happened, you was blind by anything else. You couldn't see security. You couldn't see you doing better. Only thing that you see is red. Only thing that you see is what happened. And so, um, either that's why I said that my goal was I need, get past that. And when I get past that, I need to make sure that I'm that stable wall. I used to say a lot that the uh, one of the characteristics of a woman in the Bible, it speaks of her being a vine, And we know vines, whether if you in the hood or you somewhere, vines grow and they grow and they go and they grow and they spread. But a vine can only grow on a stable foundation. Vines will never grow on something that's not stable. When it becomes unstable, it stops the growth, it hinders the growth of that vine. And so the woman is considered the vine, and the man is that foundation. And the moment when I became unstable, it hindered your actual growth. And so if I stop growing, being a tall, stable foundation, you will have nowhere to grow. You can't grow no higher. The only thing you can do is grow over the wall. One, you was a vine that was once going up is now going over and down. And I think that many people, many men have been um, leaving dead bodies, many women everywhere, because we're not being that stable foundation for um, its vine to grow on. And securing you, the first act I had to do was get back stable. Um, and any person, one thing about you that I appreciate was that simply that, uh, you are a woman that went through a lot in life, and so you know what you want, you know what you deserve, you know what you should have, and you've had a lot of men that dropped you, and in my and with that, that means you experience and knowing what you should have and what you shouldn't have. And I had to convert myself from being that conceited man, I got her, to now I need to win her back over again. And what I've learned in this is that one thing that a woman needs out of all things is security. And the moment that security is broken, it's a wrap. And yeah, they're
There
our,
you
Yeah.
go.
our kids is
There you
special.
go.
Guys just ignore their comments. They're just special. All of them. And so, anyways, and what I meant by the dead bodies is that I practiced being a better man and not worrying about how I left the person I was with. And I had to get out of practice mode. And because of that, people was hurt because I practice on their heart. I practice on their mind. I practice on, it's nothing like giving yourself to somebody that don't really want you or know you. And when a woman reveal her desires to a man, and you haven't realized what his true desire is and his motive is, you just unlock the key to your heart being shattered. And because it was um, a behavior I had, I wasn't concerned with how I left the person that I hurt. I was more concerned with how I treat the next person, and if they get hurt in the meantime, next. And I'm thinking that um, my thinking was that, oh, the next person picked them up and fixed them. And so with that being said, securing you didn't start with worrying about securing you, started with me being secure. And it's nothing like a secured person being with an unsecured person. Because either you have the will and the power and the patience to secure that person, or you don't. And the crazy thing was that I was unsecure and no one even knew it. Um, and so when you're unsecured, you do whatever you got to do to make your insecurities feel accepted. And so because I was unsecured, I could recognize your insecurities, obviously. And the thing of it was that if I could get to the place to where I could stop repeating a behavior I didn't like, then I'm good. Because I'm good in everywhere else. Yeah, my kids and wife, they don't lack for nothing. And that one area in my life I couldn't get right was because it was destroyed years ago when I was a kid. and because I kept it to myself, and because I never handled it, because I thought that by going to the person to the next person, will fix it, and it didn't. And so I did the long run of answering your question like a Baptist preacher. Uh, just realized your question was about securing you. So yes, that's my answer. If I asked it, but yes.
So
Going back to what you said, because you know our kids are crazy, but even when you said dead bodies, I was like dead bodies. But going back to, and I know you can't speak for all men in general, but speaking for you,
Can you? Is that a question you got written down, or is it off the top of your head? Because I want to address a question, but if you go off the top of your head, go ahead and ask it.
I'm going off the top of my head.
Okay, go ahead then.
I'm literally going now. My question is because you answered all of it in one
Oh,
sentence.
well, go ahead then. Oh, you know it.
So, but because you hit on something, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when you were talking about it, my heart was beating
Yeah.
like completely fast, and it meant something to hear a man say that. And basically, how do you feel now when you know that you went from female to female, and what they did was they wanted love from you, but you just wanted to prove that you wasn't something else. And then when you got in a relationship and you what was it any do you have any kind of remorse for the women that you hurt?
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound horrible. It's probably gonna sound bad, but please hear past what I'm gonna say or get to. Just
Get
I'm
the
gonna say
understanding of what you're about to
yes,
say.
yes. I wasn't affected or hurt by it because I wasn't the one being hurt. I was applying the hurt, and it didn't bother me until I got to the person that I didn't want to hurt, and I ended up hurting her, you. And so, um, when you have to look in the mirror at yourself, and the mirror is the reflection, the mirror is the reflection bouncing off the person that you say that you love. That's when it gets real. It's like, oh, I done hurt the wrong person because this is the person I'm actually trying to get to do things right, and my same behavior that messed it up. And you know, when you inflict pain, you don't notice or know the pain until you have to deal or handle or face the pain. One good thing about hurting and running is that you never get to look at what you did. When you hurt somebody, when you destroy somebody, when you tear somebody down, you don't have to watch that person get torn down. You don't have to experience and watch the hurt that you did to somebody. You do it and you keep on pushing. But when you live with the person, when you have to deal with what you did to somebody, that's when it gets real. And
Wow.
and people for so long get hurt, hide it, run off. The person that hurt them will never know the impact because it was never shown or displayed. And so Lexi asked a question: should you? Um, so would you say you shouldn't pursue a serious relationship without being fully whole with yourself? I'm going to say this: there is dangers in pursuing serious, a playful one, or whatever. It's dangerous pursuing a relationship with somebody when you're not whole. And let me tell you why. It was women that wasn't okay. I'm saying this wrong. When you go into a relationship with somebody and you're not whole, that gives room for the person that want to dominate you and make you who they want you to be because you're not whole. So because you're missing, a part of you is gone, a part of you is shattered and destroyed, but you're moving on to the next person. You'll find yourself being whatever that person wants you to be because now that person is filling up something that you should have filled up. So if I go to you incomplete, that means the incomplete part of me will become to work the worst part of you. Sometimes it could be good, it could be bad, but either way it goes, um, I'm not mending you, I'm making you. And a man should never make a woman. A man can mend. But one thing that I love about Takika, she's who she is. It wasn't no, I said this to some people and they was like, "Wait, please." I said, um, the woman shouldn't be the one changing, the man should be the one changing. They said, "What do you mean?" If a woman allows a man to be funky and stinks and don't say nothing, he will always be that way. If a woman allows a man to be inconsiderate, don't want to open the door for her, but that's what she wants, but she don't speak on it. Well, her fault. A man has a man should be the one changing for the woman, meaning, the woman was designed for who she is, and the problem is that it's been too many people being somebody else because it made the person they with, better. You changed up who you was for somebody that you're not even going to be with tomorrow. While there's a man that's been born to love on somebody that was your design, but your design got messed up because you changed your design unauthorized. God didn't make you that way. Men change you that way. And you wonder why you can't find you or the person you're supposed to be with because you became the man that wasn't even assigned to you. Who you was created to be was for the man that was assigned to find you. And the reason why your man haven't found you is because you've allowed yourself to change to be a whole complete different identity. And so now you can't be found by the person that's meant for you because you change. So I say this all the time. The man should be the one adapting and changing. The question is, do I have the capacity to love her on the level that she needs to be loved? And that was always my issue. So I didn't want to check my capacity because my capacity ain't even a factor because I'm not going to give you all of me. I just want all of you. So the question is, do I have the capacity? The question you should ask yourself, Lexi, do this man do he have the capacity of love that I need to be loved and love that I know that I need to be loved? Do I even know how much I need to be loved? And if I don't know that, I shouldn't even be engaging that. Let me go find me first. Let me go fix me first. Because if I don't fix me, if I become incomplete, people like the old me will come and make you how I want you to be. And when I get done dealing with you, I'm gonna move on to somebody else.
Your sister said, "Where was this talk back then?"
Shoot, I didn't know it. And so what am
So
I doing? I'm giving all the stuff that gave me the edge in leaving dead bodies. I need to stop saying it, huh?
um so you have two people here. Let's just be honest. You have this woman who is always somebody's secret. Let's pause. Dion said he disagreed with that statement, but sounds good.
Disagree with what statement?
I want to know it. You got to say what you disagree on. But let me say this: this is the Bible of D.D. Allen, so it ain't the Word of God. So that means you take what you need. But I'm telling you what worked for me, which is this: if you're not whole, if you are in a position to where um, I was able to manipulate what happened to you and make it work for me, I'm gonna make it work for me. I didn't. I need you to change. I ain't gonna change. But let me tell you something. When Takiki came in my life, she looked. I was opening her door up. I started
Yeah,
grooming myself even more.
I was gonna say that because in the
I
back of my head, I
um,
always wanted a man to open the door for me.
yeah.
Because I just
White people get that done. Like,
Oh, your phone done left you again. Let me see your phone. Uh,
oh, shoot.
I think that um, if let me clarify something. I'm not saying that the woman don't have nothing to change. I'm saying be who you are and stop being so quick to change you before you even fix you. You find you. And what happens is that you just become everything but who you should be, while the man have no requirement to change. It's always the woman that's expected to change, and man don't change. No, the woman just, hey, find you, be you. And if a man can't love you for who you are, I don't know. Now, should a woman adjust her attitude? Yes. Adjust her ways? Yes. Adjust how she do things? Sure, yes. If that makes their relationship better, if that's what the man wants, great, wonderful. Should the man do the same thing? Of course. But if I've been a dog, but I'm really not a dog, let me go ahead and change.
She said, asking for a friend.
What's the friend?
Lexi, that's just saying. I'm just asking for a friend, but she asking for herself.
Oh, so what if the woman, the one leaving the dead bodies? Listen, I'm not saying that only men do it. I'm just speaking from a man's point of view. And yes, women cheat too. Yes, women it has conniving, sneaky ways also. Yes, women know how to um, they know how to do the same thing the man is doing. The only difference is simply this. Um, in my shoes, I'm tired of being the one that's doing it. And so my change was for me. I told my wife, so one day she actually said, Why did you change?" I said, "It wasn't for you. It was for me. Changing for you is temporary because when you piss me off and we're not together anymore or whatever, I'm gonna go back to who I was because I changed just for you. Changing for you come with an expiration date, while changing for me is permanent. And so I had to change for me. I had to do it for me. And so yeah,
So, my thought right now was on when I was sitting with some friends and we were talking about levels in marriage. Um, let's just we both have experienced in marriages before. I have an ex-husband. He has an ex-wife. Um, for me, I don't know if I left dead bodies, but I was a multitasker when it came to I'm not gonna leave you out there by yourself like I
you
was
was
just
non-denomination
yeah, I was non-denominational.
because we ain't gonna use the word hoe.
I was non-denominational. And I literally picked up what I did based off of, okay, if these N words gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too. So it for women, I think I used to get mad when men would say the reason why y'all can't cheat and we don't know is because y'all put y'all emotions in it and we don't care. For me, for me, I didn't realize until afterwards that a lot of my situationships, honestly, I didn't really put emotions in it because I knew what they wanted from me. So I gave them just that. And only one person had my no, two people had my emotions. One emotion was intellect, and the other emotion was just growing up with that person and just knowing them from street life. But a lot of times when you were speaking on change and how, to me, I feel like if there's a good vibe between that man and that woman, and you guys are building with each other, that change is going to happen to the both of you. That man is going to change because he doesn't want anyone else to have his woman. That woman is going to change because she finds security in that man. And that's what is going to keep them connected to each other. And if people realize that's why it's hard for that disconnection to happen. Because even the one day I left and I sent you a text and said, I'm leaving you. And I left for a couple of hours. But it was too much of a connection and too much of a
Wait, did you
what
did
I
you
know
read
Dion,
Dion's comment?
but
I
he
gotta read.
better.
This fool just said, "You better be a multitask." It's the reform hoe for me. For real,
I keep forgetting your brother and sister knew me before they was
you know what I'm saying? And but
because watch was life.
here's the thing though, is that you you literally, and it's funny. Bishop Peachy said it during our counseling. Was that he said you got two people with a bad rep coming together trying to
Right.
make a good name.
No, that's what I was going to say. Somebody who was the quiet secret, and you have the man who had the many multitudes, or whatever you want to call it.
Multi-time.
And you bring these two people together. The world was looking at us like, what in the hell do they think they doing? This is not
Yeah.
going to work at all. You got two cheaters coming together to do what? To do exactly what? But what people fail to realize, that on a serious note, that was a display on insecurity on both ends, because we both share the same story. It's amazing to me to hear a man say what he was raped. And for me, yes, I was molested, I was raped. And you go through life trying to prove you're something that you're not, when actually you're becoming that something, like you said earlier. But what people fail to realize is that what keeps us connected is, people know I like Friends, but it's nothing like laying in the bed with your husband while he acting like he ain't watching, and he watching it with you, and he knows your episodes that you like the most when you
Do you
skipping
got
through.
proof?
Yeah, it's nothing like watching I Love Lucy and he sneaking and watching it with you, or even hear the song and he bopping his head. It's those little bitty moments of him ordering for me, or knowing what my favorite color is in that season.
Don't forget your. Never mind. Go ahead.
My what? Are picking up my tampons from CVS.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, that's kind of man I am. I ain't no shame in my
Or when
game.
and I deal with fibroids, and to have a man that literally goes through the motion with me, knows I have migraine headaches, that I need the lights off, and we studied each other, you guys, and it wasn't, it was beyond that. So I appreciate you. I'm looking at something wrong with our family, because I promise they going nuts up in here.
As if we ain't having it. They having their own live thing going on in comments. But let me say this because I know that we've been on for an hour, 30 minutes.
You
Kind of got
read your
a
daughters.
little bit. Uh, and what? What she said?
I feel like when you talk to multiple people at once, it's because you feel in control. And that one thing that you know for sure is that it's you that could end it at any. Oh, wow.
What was the question?
Huh?
Okay, yeah, cool. I said, what was the question?
You said, okay, yeah, cool. No, I said read Maya's. Maya had wrote a paragraph, so I didn't want to dismiss it. But
Oh, okay. Um, I was saying that um, when we get to the place, I like I said, two people got together, try to make a name for themselves. We're at a place to where we want people to learn from us.
yeah,
We want to allow. And when I say learn, meaning you don't have to stay stuck in that learned behavior pattern. Literally, the goal is for the woman get past your anger, get past the anger, get past. Meaning, if you decide to stay, get past the anger and work on moving forward.
yeah,
I told Takika one day. I said to her, "I'm only gonna take this for so much longer. You know, what I'm not gonna be is great when you're not thinking about it, and then I'm terrible when you are thinking about it. And I'm only gonna accept that for so much longer. I'm not gonna do all this changing for you to have a dream and remember what happened. And I wake up and you staring at me like I just freshly done something to you. So I used to wake up and ask myself, what did I just do in your dream? What happened? I'll be
mhm,
guilty, in her dream. I ain't done nothing. I was guilty for sleeping. I was like, Lord Jesus. But when you get to the point to where you're able to move forward, get over that hump and move forward. That's gonna be great. The goal was to get past our insecurities on both ends and see the side of okay, now we can enjoy life. So what do we have? We have a marriage to where we don't got a front in front of nobody.
mm,
Bishop Peach, y'all used to always say, "Hey, if you tell on you, they can't tell on you."
Yeah.
If you
If
tell
you
it,
tell
they
on
can't
yourself, they
tell
can't
on
tell
you.
on you.
And so I am excited because we're at a level of ministry to where we want our experiences, what we've experienced, to be a tool to help other people to overcome and to have a greater relationship and get past everything. Question for wait, hmm? Man,
Question for Lady T. Do you feel like his masculine energy automatically brings out your feminine, divine, nurturing energy? Lexi, you're such a hippie.
I love it.
I literally love how your father is in his masculine way. I love the fact that he reaches to open a door. I love the fact that beyond what we've been through, this man has literally, you're going to make me cry. Um, your father has shown me what being a man really is all about with how he does cater to me. And anybody that know me when I lived in Watts, I was very harsh and protective of my own. And to have someone that says you don't have to do all of that and relax and be you, I literally became more of a woman. So yes, his masculine, his energy um, allows me to be. His energy allows me to be that woman that I've always wanted to be. So that's why when it came to the protectiveness and the security, it means a lot to a wife for a husband to make her feel secure and protected at all times because you allow them the ability to be submissive. You allow them the ability to be that woman that they crave to be on the inside. And so, yes, your father's whole vibe, he's a whole vibe for me. And I don't want to
Your best friend said, "Girl, just cry. Get over it."
talk. Shut up.
Uh, I
Because she
want to.
knows I hate to cry, but you guys don't even though our marriage has been on the biggest roller coaster ride ever, it's the private stuff that this man has literally done, even with my own children, who I isolated from so many people, but he was just a whole vibe with my kids. His kids are a whole vibe with my kids.
Your mic is off.
I
Well,
was gonna cuss word.
well, yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to fix her. Um, hold on. Okay, talk.
Hello.
Give me 1 second, y'all.
It's my small ears.
That's because you're over trying to cry and talk and be
I
cute.
wasn't trying to cry. I was trying to be a G about mine.
Mhm. No.
I don't like all that. You can hear me now?
Yes, you could be heard.
That's what happens when you stop being a G and you start being all feminine and stuff. But I just literally, I've been that type of girl in Watts where I turned ice cold. And this man just literally melted me. And that's why a lot of my emotion, because he'd be like, I don't know why you get so emotional when it comes to me, because you're the first man I ever gave all my emotions to. And that's what men fail to realize when it comes to women. When we give you all of our emotions, all of them, that's what we expect to stay at. That's who we expect to be with. That's who we expect to share everything with. When you have a husband that you can fart with and be like, excuse me, not farting,
Don't we
but
fart,
you
girl?
go to the bathroom with the bathroom door open and
Don't
be
we leave it
talking to
open,
each
girl?
other like we just talking on a bench or
Don't we
something.
conference on
Like
Lulu's?
Women give their all. When they give their all to you, don't abuse that. Don't, because it takes a lot, especially when you have women like me, and I know I have women on here that can attest to that. Like, you have women that been side pieces, that's been the quiet one, the midnight girl, where they come at midnight to come see, or early in the morning, before they go do what they have to do. We've been that girl. So when we get in this position, it's like, oh hell, I can be me now. I can, when I even take, my husband helps me take my weaves out. Like, I don't have to touch my own scalp to, like, I love the fact that I have a man that I ask him, do you like this, or do you like what I have on, or do you like this, and not to be all deep like that, but I started wearing like damn near granny panties, and he was like, I don't understand, no, this is not working for me, so no, let's go shopping again. Get what I like.
Polka
Like, I don't
dots and
understand this.
stripes is out of
He
order.
was like, I don't know what these stripes came
What
from,
happened
where are
to the
these
spirit of
flower
lace?
patterns.
Asha. No, we don't cover the whole butt.
So
Glory be unto God.
for me, yes, he is my whole vibe, like my whole entire vibe. He has all my emotions. And if that make me sprung on him, or if that make me look a certain way to other women, oh well, when you get you one of these, it's a whole different story. That's why when people be on there posting about, when single people be on marital stuff, I've had to learn to shut up, because at the end of the day, all you're doing is just talking, because you're single. You have absolutely no idea what it's like to be in this. When you have a real marriage, you have absolutely no idea. And I made sure we had papers. Yeah, them papers are legally here. They're legal. Because in this in it, you go through the ups and downs in marriage. But I'm here for the fun part of the rides now. We done been through the hell part. I'm here for the fun part of the ride.
I wanna.
Oh, Bruce is on
What?
for Jay's.
Okay.
That's Bruce talking.
Well, I can't say it my phone.
Oh, I'm
Comments.
sorry. He said, "This is Bruce. Bruce, I would like to
Oh,
thank
he's the
you."
new member of the church.
Yeah,
That's one of the men in the church.
yeah. I would like to thank you for being so honest and open. It has really helped me with things I need to deal with to become the man God called me to be. All right, Bruce.
I wow. Um,
See, how awesome is this? Y'all have two people over here emotional. I'm looking at my husband's face. He ain't finna play me. And we both be trying to act like we hard. No, y'all have no idea. Like,
um, I ain't gonna cry. Nope. My eyes not even getting watery. Um,
oh,
let me explain why I'm emotional. I I've been through a lot, and my prayer has always been, I can't die a failure. And
wow, wow,
and I
wow.
they said, Lord, let the life that I've what is this? Let the life that I've lived speak for me. Um, if I could help one person, it's having a life to where everyone sees and hear. You get no benefit. I keep asking, what's the benefit of you still standing? The benefit is simply this now, is that I get to see the fruit of what I suffered. Someone being able to get something from it. I'm serious when I make this statement that people can't get past who they are because nobody don't want to talk about who they were. And everybody want to front. Everybody want to act like they don't have no past. Everybody want to act like
Right.
they've never done anything. And somebody asks me, why you won't, this person blasting you, this person saying this about you. Trust me, I hear it all. They always say, why you won't speak on him? It ain't my job to open their closet, because if they closets get open, I won't be the one to do it. I want to take my life, what I've experienced, what I went through, and I finally want to be in a position to see in people get past. You know, we if we're going to keep on being silent over what we went through and don't talk about it, who are we helping? We just a church that want to play church, come to church, shout, come to church, sing, collect an offering, and don't nobody want to talk about what they've been through because it's a taboo. Because you are bishop of the Lord's church, because you carry an office, because you're a pastor. I never understood a church that follows somebody. You don't even know the pastor's testimony. You don't know what the pastor have been through. You don't know the pastor's story. I'm not saying that we should always tell our story. I'm not saying that our ministry should be based on us always exposing what we did. I'm simply saying this to the group that needs to hear it. Are you going to give it?
Mm.
Who have you talked to? Who have you shared your story with? Who have you really helped? Because anybody else that can preach well could do the same thing that you're doing. The question is, are you bold enough? Are you bold enough to expose you what you went through? People can't expose them because that's still them. So I get it. Yeah, keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. Because the only thing you're doing is you're gonna hurt somebody. Yeah, wait till you get over it. My question is for the other group of ministers, preachers, evangelists, apostles, deacons, apostles, and bishops, and wherever else we want to call ourselves. The question is, who have you shared your story with?
Mm. We'll expose other people just so we don't get exposed.
Wow.
That's what happens. We'll sit up at the table with everybody and expose somebody else because we don't want them to know what we have, what they have gone through. Like
Love you,
everybody
mom.
has
That's
a
Doreen
testimony.
Taylor. I'm
Huh?
sorry. I just saw her comment. Yes.
Um,
Sorry.
going
Going
back
back
up,
up,
Lexi.
Lexi.
Oh, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Lexi.
Lexi.
You've
You've
done
done
seen
seen
this
this
man
man
at
at
his
his
lowest
lowest
and
and
still
still
writing
writing
true
true
definition
definition
of
of
a
a
writer.
writer.
Better
Better
keep
keep
this
this
woman.
woman.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Uh,
sweetheart.
my you guys just don't know. I'm at a point um to where I'm irritated now with people that always want to talk about what somebody done and did. Um, and when I look at you and I'm asking you, well, what are you doing though? If I was so stuck on the rule of restoring an individual, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Mm.
Mm.
And it's funny, grace only works for the group of people that's in their circle.
Right.
Right.
It's
Right.
funny, grace works for your good old boys club. Grace works for your buddy, your listen.
Right. That
I'm
was good.
glad that God delivered me over people because now I can really do me. And so my change wasn't for them. My change wasn't for her. My change was for me. Better me only because
Some
Some
people
people
don't.
don't
It's
it's
too.
two.
Some
Some
people
people
don't
don't
like
like
your
your
change,
change,
and
and
some
some
people
people
don't
don't
believe
believe
that
that
you've
you've
changed.
changed.
I don't care. Uh, uh, the issue is that again, if I base where I am now according to people talking what they have said, I would never be where I am now.
Mm.
Mm.
And the funny thing is, do you know that if I could keep attention off me and talk about you, I've accomplished what I needed to get done.
Hmm.
If you're always moving by what people let me say it differently. When you no longer live in your past and you're being the new man, it confuses the devil because he can't find you. When you're identified to the people by what you did
Mhm.
and never who you are,
Mhm.
when you're identified by the devil because he knows what to attack, what am I saying? It's simply this. I move forward. I change because the devil can't attack what he don't identify. The devil continue attacking me because I remain the same man.
Oh, okay.
God had a conversation with the devil. Have you heard about this man over here? Hello. I want to get to the point in life to where I become the man that I was created to be. And so when I stop being concerned, only people that's mad about you moving forward is the people that's stuck in the back watching you move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to allow myself to be in line with this people that's meant to be behind my back and not in front of me.
Okay.
And so if you're always boasting about what you're doing, you would never have room to boast about what you did. I'm talking. Rapper. It's like, have anybody ever will you ever hear a lion roar after he killed someone? After the lion killed its prey, do it roars? No. There's no point in it. It got what it needed. Why would I keep talking and I've accomplished what I wanted to do? I'm moving in silence so you won't know what to attack.
Hmm.
I allow my enemies and my haters to stay in my past, so that's where they live, on dead things. You can stay dead.
All
It's not my
right.
job to breathe life in you. You want life, get your own life. I'm moving forward. That's why I'm not concerned about what people have to say. I want to address something Taylor had said about. She said that man always expect a woman to move forward. I mean, to get over
To
it.
get over it, yeah.
Um,
She said they lay down and mind their business.
she said, "Man, tell women to get past the anger just to make them angry again. Don't confuse what I'm talking about with the games that men play. If you could get past my job, for example, somebody does something to me, it's my job to get past what happened to me so that I could move forward. And if I base me moving forward on somebody saying I'm sorry, then I'm always be set up to never move forward. Yes, we do play the game. Oh, just get over it. And yes, we'll make you mad again. That's two different things. I'm talking about moving past what happened to you, and it's nothing like moving because when you don't get past what happened to you, you go from one person to the next person, dealing with the same spirit because you haven't changed the odor on you.
Wow.
And so flies get attracted to dead things. It's birth out of dead things, birth from maggots. But before it become a maggot and before it becomes a fly, something has got to die first.
Right.
And if it ain't ever dead, then there will never be a maggot. There will never be a fly.
Right. Let me. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me give you the female version of it, Taylor, because you say yes, y'all do. Um, it's not. Make sure you put the right people in the right category when it comes to because there's men and there's little boys, and then there's man child. And I'm gonna put that out there too for those that are married or in a long-term relationship. There's a difference. When you're in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, this is not like he said, this ain't one of those y'all get in an argument and he tell you to get over it and you get an attitude because no, you get over it. No, I'm not getting over it. What in the perspective of being who I am when my husband is saying get moving forward, getting over it, meaning set yourself up mentally to say, I'm staying in this, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life going at my husband, chewing him out for something that we're supposed to be past. That's supposed to be in the past. When it's a get over it, it's a get over it of either we gonna stay here and keep arguing or get a divorce because you don't want to move from it, or we can work it out, counseling, whatever it is, so we can get over it together. When you're there's a difference in a marriage, and a lot of people don't know that both. When you and please don't say y'all because not every man is like that. Is the funny thing about it is he said everything, you just have to listen to it. Crap attracts flies. So when we deal with
crappy men, we're the flies because we're attracted to them. We keep going back to those crappy men. So we keep getting crapped on, and then we want to get mad at all men because we chose to go back to crap. But then when a man who, okay, I made this mistake, you're staying with me, how about let's work on letting it go so we can move forward? There's a difference between let it go when it comes to a man that wants his relationship and he's telling you, let's move forward from here. There's some N-word on the street that just wants you to shut the hell up and let it go. We have to learn the difference between that. Either you're going to keep going to the crap and be the fly, or you're going to go over here where the real men are. And real men are not without faults. See, the thing is, we have to learn in between that, we need to not be bitter. We need to let go of the bitterness so we can see the difference between a crappy person and a real person. So when somebody tells you to get over it, it's two different terminologies for that.
Yeah, you're speaking on one is
One is a little boy playing game. The other one is, to me, one is a little boy playing games, and the other one is a man that's saying, "Look, I want to make this work. I want you to be healed from this. Let's move forward with it. So can we get over this?"
well, I want to say it, but I'm trying to say it to where it's understand. Two men could say the same thing and have two different meaning.
Right,
One man could say get over it from the place of manipulation, while another man could say get over it so we can enjoy what we got over.
right.
What one group of people is used to the manipulation, so you would never understand the other end of it because only thing that you know is the manipulating part of it. And so I think that what you're staying stuck on referring to is the manipulative. Um, hope I said that right. Um, part of the issue, and so the goal is if you never get past it, what did you stick around for? To be tormented by it?
Yeah,
'Cause rather if you move on with that person, or if you move to the next person but never got over what happened, guess what? You still got to get over it
yep,
because what you're taking over to your next relationship is the same baggage from the previous because you didn't want to get over it because you're so concerned about if I get over this, what about you? Again, that's why I said change happened because I wanted to change. My change couldn't be based on somebody else because if I'm gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna go if you go," or "I'm gonna change if you change," or "I'll adjust this if you adjust it," that's dumb. I'm gonna do it for me because when I realize that you again don't have the capacity, when you don't have the ability to be who I need you to be, when I move on, I won't be carrying parts of you with me. So that's all I have wanted to share. Listen, y'all, we 7 minutes for being 2 hours long on this thing.
oh
It is
wow.
my prayer that tonight's talk, me being open and me being transparent, the goal of it was to give that healing, give that open, honest, relevant, and place of our discussion, should I say, because we have to ask ourselves, who am I talking to? What's their history? What's their past?
So
Are
what's
you?
your right now? Ended on that. How are you in your marriage and ministry right now on today?
Oh, listen, I believe this is the reason why Living by Faith Church. Let me go on and put some free advertisement up. This is why I believe Living by Faith Church. This is why. Let's get. This is why I believe Living by Faith Church um, um, is at the place that we're at because we're in ministry to where we're more concerned with making sure that you get a whole encounter with Christ. You have a whole uh you go through deliverance, and deliverance is like step by step by step. It's listen, it's more than just you know shout. You done shout and come to the altar and repeat after me. I'm no longer impressed because somebody comes to the altar saying that they want to be saved. I'm not impressed yet. I'm not happy yet. When you come to altar and ask and say that you want to be saved, it's now my job to make sure you have a true, authentic encounter with Christ. If that don't happen, the only thing that was just emotionalism. So it's my job
Mm.
to now lead you to Christ. And it's more than just you repeating these words. You're not gonna come to Living by Faith Church week after week, Sunday after Sunday, and nothing changed. Nah, we're gonna deal with it. We're more than just church. We're gonna have some life groups. We're gonna have these type of conversations. We're gonna have some follow up and follow through because change is what's needed. And today, in today's world, after this pandemic, here it is. Either we gonna remember what it was, or we could not go to church. The U.S. finally felt what these third world countries feel like when they can't just call on Jesus when they want to, go to church when they want to. And here's my question: what did we learn? We still playing church, not living by faith. We're not just a ministry of deliverance because it's on our title, because that's who we are. Or it's leaders, is delivered people, people that's been through things. And so our church is a church of testimony. We're not a perfect church. Nah. When I go to McDonald's, it's because I'm hungry. When I go to gas station, it's because I need food in my car. When I go to the grocery store, when I need gas in my car. When I go to the grocery store, it's because I need food in my house. When I go to the house of God, it's because I need something from God. And if I can't get that encounter, I'm in the wrong house. It's time for us to stop going to churches, having church, and that's it. I could do that at home. We see how it is to have church at home. We did it for a whole year and a half. So if I can't go to church and having a true, authentic encounter with Christ, I'm wasting my time. So I don't know. What was your question?
Oh, I didn't have a question. Jay asked a question, but
What was the question?
Jay, if you are hurt to your core, how do you bounce back from that? It's
I,
either Jay or Bruce, but one of
I
them
was
have
if
to.
it's the man, I'll say this first. Let's say this. Let's stop saying core until we find out what's the core, right? Like we have to get to the point to where we go back. I'm reminded of Kings when second Kings, where the people was out in the field chopping at the tree, and the axe head fell. The axe head broke. The axe handle broke, and the axe head fell into the water. And the man ran to his leader, and he ran to his leader and said, "Master, the axe head has fallen, is broken." And he said, "What's the issue? Because it's lost." And he said, "It was borrowed." And what did the leader do? The leader said, "Let's go back to the place where the axe handle broke, where the axe head fell in the water." And the man took his leader to the place where he lost it. And when he got to the place where he lost it, the leader then told him to pick it up because they looked there, and guess what? The axe head float. It was floating. What are you saying? I'm saying this. You could never get back to where you are if you never go back to the place where you lost it. Where did you lose your joy? Where did you lose your strength? Where did you lose your trust? Where did you lose your heart? The question is, why are you going to go back to the place? But this is the point that I want to say though. The moral of the story was this: he lost it, but he recognized he got to find it because he realized it was borrowed. But he didn't go back to the place by himself. He went to the man of God, to his leader. His leader didn't tell him, "Well, go back there." His leader went with him to that place. So here it is: finding somebody that's spiritual enough, experienced enough to go with you to that place where it was lost for you to recover it.
Wow.
Here's the point that I like about that story. When the axe head fell in the water, obviously it wasn't floating because he would have picked it back up. It did not float until he returned back to the place. There's things that's lost in your life because you're too afraid to go back there. If he would have went back to the place with in the same state he was in when he lost it, it would never have float. Your axe head is waiting to come up above water. But the issue is you keep coming back to the same place the way you lost it. He came back to that place. with his leader. He came back to that place with spiritual guidance. He came back to that place with more power. So here it is. If I'm hurt to my core, let me go back to that place with more power. Let me go back to the place with some backup. Because obviously I was too weak. Because if I wasn't, it would never have got lost. So if you got hurt, you hurt to your core and you don't know how to move, sometimes that was me. And sir, let me tell you something. When I lost my father, I experienced a different kind of hurt. And I'm experiencing a different kind of hurt. But let me tell you something. If I let what happened to me, what I experienced, be my reason why I don't ever keep pushing, I will never get anywhere. I'm hurt to my core. Great. How did it happen? How do I get back to the place to where I'm not hurt? How do I go back and pick it up? And I do get it. I understand. Sometimes revisiting the place where you lost it, revisiting the place where you got hurt, it is hurtful. It's scary. But again, that's the reason why you don't go back there by yourself. But you can never go back there. You can never recover it if you don't go back there. The man of God told him, reach his hand and recover it. He didn't call it forth. He grabbed the stick. He pulled the thing back in. We've been beating around life with an axe handle without the axe head. And we've been swinging at trees. We've been hitting poles. We've been hitting trees, trying to knock down a tree, and didn't even realize we lost our axe head. And that's what I've been doing in life for so long, swinging and missing, and didn't even realize the very thing I needed to hit it wasn't even there anymore. The axe head represents the power of God. Where did I lose it at? And we got it mistaken. We think it's other things. I'm not angry because of what you did. I don't have an issue trusting people because of what happened. I lost that a long time ago. You dealing with people that's dealing with what happened a long time ago and never had the courage to go back and get it back. So here's my point. I forgot I left my wife off. Here's my point. I got a ministry mode. I'm sorry.
All right, Bishop.
If you hurt to the core, you have to get to the place to where first you recognize your axe head is missing. Figure out where you lost it and take somebody with you to go back and get it. How can I recover from being hurt to the core? Step number one, admit that you're hurt. Stop playing and acting like that you ain't hurt. I did that for a long time. Women have blemishes on their face. What they do, they put their foundation on, they put their makeup on, they put their concealer on, and they make their face look like more enhanced than what it is. Question is, how can I get to it? When can I get bold enough and talk about what happened to me so I can get past it? I don't want to keep repeating what happened to me because all I'm doing is masking and all I'm doing is covering it up. The woman with the issue in the blood in the Bible, she was never known by her name. She was only known by her issue. Stop being known by your issue.
Wow.
And make these people know you by your name.
That's good.
I'm in a place in my life to where you ain't gonna know me by my issue, but by my name. Stop being known by the one that got hurt. Stop being the one that's known because of what you did. Make these fools know you by your name. My actions is speaking louder than anything else. And when you move forward, and when you move past it, and when you focus on what you're supposed to be doing, You let the rumors of you be confusing. I heard this about him, but that's not what I see. Yeah, that's exactly what it should be
Mm-hmm.
because you're moving right. And the devil looked in your profile. He said, if I could keep you so confused, great. Here it is. The devil can never, ever take away the gift of God, destroy the gift from God. But he can mess up the person that's supposed to bear the gift. So the devil saying, since I cannot destroy the gift of God, let me destroy the person that bears the gifts. So the gifts could never be used. Just get past it. Talk about it. Open up. Find somebody. If you got somebody that you can talk to, do that. All right, that's all I have. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. I could keep going. Stop.
You just became Bishop D.D. Allen.
Sorry. Is there one? Hallelujah.
I just literally want to say that I really appreciate you
Yeah.
for being transparent. Um, like I said before, you are a public private man. So to see you in this element has been truly an eye opener for me. And just to put it out there with everyone else, it it was the hardest thing to get through, and we don't take anything from that because everybody go through their own stuff. Um, we've always shared what how I felt in going through, but I felt that we needed to share what it was like for my husband in um, going through and coming out. Um, at this very moment, I literally can say that I'm super proud of him, his courage, his strength, the wisdom that God has given him um, is growing more and more every day. I look at him now. Before, I just used to call him an old man because he used to, oh, my back is going out on me, or I'm older than him in age, but I feel like sometimes he's older than me in, physical form sometimes. But just to watch him talk the way that he talks and to the way that he carries himself as a man of God, I'm literally proud of him. And when it comes to any fears or any setbacks in my insecurity, he gets bold with me. He gets real straightforward with me. But I appreciate that because it's not pacified. I never want him to pacify when I'm having a moment, but we do talk about it. Always be with someone you can communicate with. If you can't communicate with them, then there's no, I'm praying for you guys because communication is very much the key when it comes to a marriage, like for real. And sometimes it takes a lot to be bold and stand in front of your spouse and just say, look, I don't like this that you're doing. And, you have to make sure you have all your presented as I have all this and I don't like that. And the fact that we're in a place of communication, it works. Don't get it twisted. Mr. and Mrs. Allen, this Mr. and Mrs. Allen, we are very much so not perfect. But our communication stops a whole lot of arguments and a whole lot of disagreements and a whole lot of other stuff. So I'm really proud of you, honey. I appreciate you for doing this and just representing men that are fight with the fact of, especially men in positions that you are in. Some of them just can't do it. They wish that they could say what they want to say in with their spouse, and they want to be a help to people. But maybe this right here will be a step for the men of God who knows what it's like to be you, or the women of God that knows what it's like to be me. Maybe one day we'll be all be able to sit and have a conference on this to help marriages heal, to help marriages, period. It for me, it should be, I can't say in my mindset, I'll just say that I'm praying for everyone in situations that have been through their own situations. And I'll leave it at that because I was going to go somewhere else, but I'll just leave it at that. And I pray that you have strength in, and I pray that your marriage can withhold um, the attack of situations in a marriage. And I'll leave it at that. And those that are married will catch on to it. And it's not just if money can make a make and break a marriage. You know what I mean? Like different things, financial stuff, just different things can make or break a marriage. But in this season of our life, we're betting on marriages and we're betting for marriages to win, especially what God has put together. And I thank God for a team of people that we have around us that know us personally and know our personal business that hasn't said a mumbling word to anyone. Um, I thank God because they've even said, y'all not divorcing each other. No, y'all were meant to be together. So y'all fix this. So I thank God for those people. I thank God for my husband who, during my crappiest hours of wanting to fight him and wanting to walk out and saying, F it, I'd just rather be bad by myself. He just look at me and go, you're not leaving. No, we're not doing this. No. And we'll end up the rest of the night laughing and clowning with each other. Like literally laughing at each other because we hot, we tired, it's sweaty, it's time to go to bed, you know? So I'm proud of you and I'm saying this publicly and I say it all the time when I post about you, but I'm literally proud of you. I'm proud of the man that you are standing and becoming. I'm proud of you because you're the father that you are to not only your children, but to my children,
Wow.
you know, and that's amazing. The grandfather that you are, you know, and the fact that in this, somebody said it on here, and Chisa said it on here, it's the redemption. And that hit me when I saw that because I was like, we named our church something that actually means something to us personally. You know, this is our redemption. This is our time. There's no D without T. There's no T without D. This is us. You know, and can't nobody come in between that.
Very
So
cool.
can't nobody do this relationship. This here can't nobody do. And I used to be insecure and think, oh my God, this person is gonna take him away from me, or I'm not gonna be this, I'm not gonna be that, or whatever. No, this is what God has given me. I stand for it. And for any marriage out there, I pray that God puts a protection around, a gate of protection around your marriage, so no one is able to come in and destroy what God has put together. No one can come and destroy that. No rumors, no talk about, no lies, no truths, whatever it is that they try to do to destroy any marriages. We literally pray for marriages now because we
Yeah.
understand what marriage is.
Yeah.
Not just relationship, marriage.
Yeah.
Not boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage. If you understand what marriage is, you know that this right here is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we thank you guys so much for joining us. Every time we say we're going to be about 30 minutes, we end up being 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
That part.
But I literally appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do. I love you so much. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to share this. If you haven't commented on it yet, or if you have something you want to tell us and it's private, you don't want to say it publicly, you can hit our Takika Bishop Allen Messenger up. We respond to it. We read it together. We respond to it together. If you need to talk to us individually, you can hit it up. Still hit us up and let us know, Bishop, hey, I want to talk to you one-on-one. Lady T, I want to talk to you one-on-one. We're here. We're open. We do have a limit on privacy on our marriage now, but we're open to help. We just want to be a help to people.
That's right.
That's all we want to be, is a help to people. So in closing, Bishop, you want to close us?
Yeah, I also want to acknowledge the ones that didn't want to click in the video but was watching and listening.
Thank you.
You know, because you didn't want us to let you know that you didn't want us to know that you was watching. We love you too.
We love you too.
We sure do.
The ones that be looking on our stories, we don't know who you are, but you watch everything that we do.
We
I
love
don't
you
consider you haters. I just see you as people that maybe you don't know how to say, hey, let's be friends.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But listen, for those that's going to watch us over again, just know that, again, the goal and the purpose of this was to help somebody. And so if I was bold enough to do it, I ought to be bold enough to fix it. Love you all. We out.